Welcome back to Meadow Park. It's the semi-finals of the Continental Cup between Arsenal and Birmingham. Still got Eni Aluko and Sue Smith with us. Eni, I say we'd point out kind of key players. Natalia Pablo-Sanchon for Arsenal, leading goal scorer with 11 this season, and I know every goal is important, but she's scored some crucial ones, hasn't she, this season, knocking out Manchester City, of course, in this competition as well.
Yeah, Natalia is a real fox in the box. You cannot give her space in the box because she will find the goal and she'll get it on target. She's been a player, as you said, who's scored a lot of goals for Arsenal and will be, you know, a great option for them to get goals.
We were looking through at the Birmingham lineup before, and quite a different formation. Or you were quite surprised at how they're going into this game.
Yeah, I was quite surprised originally when I seen that they were playing three at the back. But then I spoke to Eni, and when they played Chelsea, they played three at the back. So it was successful for them then. So why not go ahead and do exactly the same? Because I expect the wing backs will probably sit in, so it'll probably end up five at the back, and then you've got the creative players in the middle. We mentioned Joe Potter, Karen Carney, who will make things happen up top.
Can we predict how this game is going to go, Eni?
Well, me and Sue were just talking off camera, and I think the first goal in this game will be crucial. There's the history of these teams, there's only been one goal in it, both in the league and cup competitions. So I think if Arsenal get the first goal, they'll win. If Birmingham get the first goal, they'll hold on and win. So it depends.
Sit on the fence.
It depends. You want me to give a prediction?
Go on then.
Okay, I think Birmingham will nick it 1-0.
Okay, Sue?
Ooh, I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be whoever gets that first chance. You've got to be clinical. I'll have to go for Arsenal, so I'll have to go one each.
So there's no one predicting extra time and penalties?
Oh, well, that is a
possibility.
That's possible. That's possible.
That's also possible. We've got some young fans and old fans as well. Older fans here. It's great to see good support here for Arsenal and for Birmingham. We also have to say congratulations, of course, to Casey Stoney, who picked up her MBE at Buckingham Palace this week. Princess Anne even wishing her good luck for Arsenal today, so they have the royal seal of approval as well. The teams are coming out, so let's get to your commentary team. Lucy Ward and Alistair Mann.
Yeah, thank you. It wasn't that long ago that these two clubs were the dominant ones in the women's game. The Continental Cup finalists 2 years running in 2011 and 2012. They were also the top two in the Women's Super League itself. But both have been usurped in recent times by the emerging new forces of Chelsea and Manchester City. But having knocked them out in the quarter-finals, these two surely have a magnificent opportunity of lifting silverware, and there's a feeling that whoever does win today may well go on and win that cup itself. Arsenal, of course, with home advantage here at Boreham Wood, and having won last week when the two completed their league programme, naturally they'll be the favourites. But Birmingham's form in the latter part of the season has improved significantly, typified by that magnificent victory against the then treble-chasing Chelsea in the last 8 of this very competition. Well, the hosts are unchanged from the side who squeezed to that 1-0 victory last weekend over today's opponents. Sari van Veenendaal continues to keep out long-time custodian Emma Byrne. Last week's winning goal scorer Natalia confirmed her status as the club's top marksman, and her main goal-scoring threat will surely be part of Birmingham's pre-match tactics.
Now, Arsenal play in such a way that they always have an outlet in wide areas, and the shape stretches the opposition. The key player for me today is Jordan Nobbs, number 8, who is full of energy, and they've missed her while she's been injured. She gets beyond the forwards and she manages to score goals. They've also got the most effective centre-back partnership in the league, Gemma Rose and Casey Stoney, and looking for goals from Carter and Natalia.
Well, the visitors made just one alteration to that lineup last week. Melissa Lawley replacing Coral Jade Haynes, who does take a place up on the bench. It seems, on the face of it, a bold attacking lineup for a side who haven't scored too often, but they have been a great deal more prolific in the Cups than in the league.
And Birmingham are playing this 3-4-3 system, which means that they've got strength in midfield numbers and in attack. They'll have to be careful of Arsenal's width, and it's imperative that the outside centre-backs deal with this. The system also means that they've got bodies and they can press high and try and win the ball in Arsenal's defensive third.
We're chatting before the game about the possibilities and about the thought processes that Birmingham might have gone through ahead of today's game. Well, David Parker said that it's not so much about stopping Arsenal playing, but it's more about us being able to press high up the field and create chances from a position in the opponent's half rather than having to build from the back. It's a strategy that they appear to deploy quite well with the game against Chelsea. One thing that they're going to have to do is to stop the threat of Natalia, and of course the MBE award-winning Casey Stoney earlier today as well. It's an interesting thought that there is a demand these days for a pre-match huddle. It seems in vogue today, and once the huddles have been completed, it'll be a situation where the referee gets the game underway. You ever been part of a team with a pre-match huddle? What's said in there? Just a few encouraging last-minute words?
Yeah, it is. Usually the captain's got something to say. It happens all the time now. I think it started a few years ago, but it just gets everybody together. And if you've got inexperienced players within your team, then it just gets the captain to say a few words of encouragement. Players like Casey Stoney, Alex Scott, who are really effective in the Arsenal team, and the same in Birmingham with Joe Potter and Emily Westwood.
Well, Natalia, who settled the game last week, who also settled the game against Manchester City. She has scored more goals almost on her own than Birmingham have completely in total. So the formalities completed. Birmingham and Arsenal eyeing the Continental Cup final, which for the first couple of years was their domain, and the two met each other. Arsenal winning both those two finals, and as we've already mentioned earlier, when these two sides meet, the winners of the tie then go on and win the trophy. Birmingham, we're hoping that it is first time lucky for them. One thing that strikes you about Birmingham, and perhaps it's something that we ought to be encouraged by, is the fact that there are so many young players who've come through their own school of excellence, and it's almost as if the women's game's future rests in the Midlands and among the players who are being produced by that prolific centre of excellence. Positive start. The flag will stay down, then it will chase it, but in the end the flag goes up.
I think if you watch teams come here and do well against Arsenal, what they have done is press high up the pitch and win the ball back. They like to play out of the back, Arsenal. They don't like to change that. And I think, I've watched Liverpool here and being successful and winning the ball in Arsenal's defensive third, and it just puts them on top of goals straight away. And I'm sure that's what Birmingham have set out to do.
Good ball to bring Carter into play. As ever, Scott round the outside offering the width, and the first real chance comes the way of Jordan Nobbs, who will be mightily disappointed that she couldn't test the keeper and keep it down.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion. Birmingham defensive third there. It's a great ball, and this is where Birmingham are going to be vulnerable, right in those channels. And Dan Carter's got some speed, manages to get a good ball across Alex Scott, and there's just nobody picking Jordan Nobbs up. She manages to find these spaces, and that would have been a good opportunity for her to score there and just settle this Arsenal team down.
That's the thing with the three. You are 5 in retreat, 3 when you're going forward, but it's how quickly the two widest players get in there to seal up the gaps, and that early ball out to the right to Carter exposed Birmingham rather.
Yeah, it is, and what the outside centre-backs have to do is they have to defend from the outside in, and that's not what they're used to doing, because otherwise they're at risk of the ball down the channel, but if they're standing there and defend, then it's easier.
That goes up eventually. Van Venendaal, to be fair, did get to the ball, but the assistant on the far side comes to Arsenal. It's another trying to stop them being prolific from it. And Venendaal opting to miss out the midfield on this occasion and go long towards Natalia. Helped on by Lasada. Well, she managed to keep it in play, Corredera, and play a reasonable ball across the face of the area. There's Scott. Lasada. And a swing, almost an air shot from Carter. It certainly looks in the opening few moments as though Birmingham themselves are a little bit at the ragged side in terms of their organisation at the back.
Well, they did play this formation against Chelsea and it was effective, but just look a little bit uncoordinated at the moment as a system, as a group. We just need to calm that down, maybe turn Arsenal around a couple of times.
There's plenty of sides over the years who've had success with the three at the back system, but the key to it is the ability of everyone to know exactly what their roles are and almost to slide across in tandem from one side to the other so that there aren't gaps.
The thing is, you can make use of the numbers that you've got in midfield, and also you can play with the two up front as well, with one in behind, which I think that's what Birmingham will try and do, but it's just getting it right at the back.
It's a super ball, the flag stays down as well. And a terrific opportunity for Linnett. And it's blocked just at the vital moment. Good defending. There's a large look across the back line from one or two players to each other, wondering how Linnett managed to get through so simply.
Yeah, Linnett's a good player. She's quick, and she just managed to get in, and she wasn't offside, and it was Casey Stoney trying to play her on, but she did well in the end. Casey Stoney, she appealed, but then she just managed to get that block in. Casey Linnett couldn't get the shot away quick enough.
I think it was the right decision. She was onside, she had time to run. It's a good ball through by Remy Allen, played her in. Chance to examine Arsenal from a set piece. They managed just about to get it out of harm's way. Here's Potter. Now Carney. Waits for Harrop. Also looking to counter-attack. Look at the pace of Scott down this near side. Immediately turning defence into attack. Good effort from Carter as slams against the bar. Goalkeeper clutching at air. That was just a stunning strike.
So that's a problem. All the players up for a corner and they just break with pace, but what a great strike that is from Dan Carter. She's really on form at the moment, and she's scoring goals for England, scoring goals for Arsenal. Good turn, not too many touches, not much of a backlift, but keeper had no chance. Bagley in goal there.
No wonder she puts the hands to the face. Not too much wrong with that, was that? Just maybe a quarter of a foot lower and it would have been an underside of the bar and in. But there's a real belief about Arsenal, a real purpose about the way they've started here.
They knew that Birmingham would come here and be front foot, so they had to, because they're at home, they had to make sure that they were the team with the initiative, and they've done get out of the blocks really well, really quickly.
There's Carney. With so many younger players around, the likes of Carney's significance just increases really. Linnett's offside on this occasion. Strikes me as the kind of player probably likes that responsibility anyway. Captain, leader, metronome almost for the side.
Absolutely, she puts a lot of pressure on herself, but she can handle it. And it's there, she's quick enough that she didn't really need to go and drift offside there, but just put a few passes together there, Birmingham. That's what they need to do, get a calm head on it, like Joe Potter, like Remy Allen or Kaz Carney, and just get the team moving and playing.
Yeah, it's just a little short from Knobs, and it allows Birmingham to pounce. And Venendahl thumping it away. A calm piece of defending from Harrop, and Westwood back to Bagley. When you face Arsenal, you know you're going to spend long periods of the game out of possession. That's what you do with it. It really matters. There's Carter. Just to remind you that this game will be settled one way or another. Has to reach a conclusion this evening, whether it be via extra time or penalties. Scott just about got there first, but Jessica Carter wins it back, and she's strong enough to ride a couple of little collisions on the way. There's a real tempo about the opening minutes here. That is for sure.
Yeah, Birmingham have come here with a purpose, and Arsenal have surprised Birmingham a little bit the way that they've started, but a bit frenetic. I'm sure it'll calm down, but I can't help but think that Arsenal probably need to score in this period of time when they're on top, particularly being at home.
Here's Howard. With this being the, if you like, the concluding game for one of these sides today for their season's rigours, it means that they can give this a real go, and you can tell that they're not going to leave anything behind, because here come Birmingham now looking to create. Ball not delivered as those who'd made their way into the box were hoping. And look at the pace of the counter-attack from the hosts. That's lovely play from Carter. Her touch betrayed her just at the vital moment, and Westwood passed.
It's again good play. Masada started well, Jordan Nobbs has started well, and that girl Dan Carter too. It's just a strike from earlier. It's a great strike. Just a crossbar in the way of the opening goal.
There's Natalia. There's only one thing in her mind when she gets just a chink of light between her and the goal, and that's to have a go at it. Get away with having a go, provided that you score on a regular basis. So Natalia has the right, she's earned the right to have a go from situations like she just did. By Lasada towards Carter, who seems to have been involved in everything. We're only 10 minutes into the game. She's probably had about a dozen touches already. Little tug of the shirt, which saw Mannion put off, and the referee gives Birmingham the free kick as a consequence.
I think bar Kelly Smith and Rachel Yankee being in and out of the side, this is probably Arsenal's strongest 11. They've got the players back from injury, and you just can see the way that they're moving the ball. They move it very quickly. It's very difficult to defend with, whether you've got a 4-3 or whatever you defend with. Birmingham just need to make sure that they keep it at 0 whilst Arsenal are on top.
Well, for the large part of the latter half of the season, Birmingham and Arsenal, indeed most of the sides of the Women's Super League, were playing a minimum of twice a week because of the Continental Cup group stages in between the league fixtures. But now all of a sudden they've had a full week to prepare for this, and they know that the loser, their season concludes.
And then it's 3 weeks to the final as well, so that's quite a long time, but it's worth it if you can get yourself through to the final and try and, because both these teams will be disappointed with what they've done this season, and I think both of them will want to finish the season with a trophy, which would have been unexpected earlier on in the season.
Here's Scott. The final on November the 1st. And it will be between the winners of this and the other semi-final when Liverpool face Notts County. Again on this right-hand side, Birmingham a little bit thin, their left. Carter and Scott looking to expose them down one side, and on the other, Corredera exposes them on the left, and that is a stunning strike. Fantastic finish from Corredera, and well, absolutely nothing that Sophie Bagley could do about that, except wonder why no one closed her down quickly enough.
That definitely was coming, wasn't it? Arsenal have created themselves loads of space in the opening minutes of this game, but that's a superb strike from Corredera. She's definitely improved as she's come into this Arsenal side, and a key player. She can play anywhere defence, and you can see there that she's key in attack as well. Just saw a little bit of light in front of her and just give the ball a hell of a hit. Great goal.
I think the problem you've got with a player of her quality is that if you give her time and room, she can just size up what she's got in front of her. She knows she's not under any pressure, and it's all about her technique at striking the ball, and she kind of hit across it, and it flung out of the way of the goalkeeper. As a goalkeeper, you have to question those in front of you allowing that kind of space and time, and Birmingham have had 2 or 3 gaps in the opening 13 minutes or so, and one of them's now been exposed.
They haven't really got close to Arsenal on the edge of the area, and when you've got players like Corredera who's capable of producing that sort of finish, then you just put yourself at risk. And I don't think Birmingham have started the way they want to. They've flattened now to a back 5 because Arsenal have pushed those 3 players forward up front, and it just causes a problem, when they want to attack, and the starting positions of the attackers that they're trying to pass to.
Again, the flag stays down, and Carter's going to get there. The ball sat up for her to chip it, and it's 2-0. Well, it was a simple ball over the top. There was no question of offside, and the ball just seemed to sit beautifully and made her mind up that she had to chip it as the goalkeeper came, and she got it exactly right.
And it was Route 1 stuff, really, which Arsenal tend to do. Just got behind their attack at a defender there, but what a great finish. Once Sophie Bagley had come out there, there was only one way that Dan Carter could finish it, and she did it with aplomb. Like I say, a striker full of confidence.
Well, she's only a teenager, the Birmingham City goalkeeper, but it doesn't matter if you're experienced or a novice. If you don't get the protection in front of you and you're left with those kind of situations, more often than not, you will be beaten.
Yeah, and she wasn't offside, and I just think it was the line that Birmingham were playing. It was just easy to get in. One ball should not beat all your defenders.
Doesn't come as a surprise to me that the goal scorer is Danielle Carter either. She's had a really busy opening quarter of an hour, and of course it was her effort that probably still has the crossbar reverberating right now. Well, the pace and the tempo that Arsenal have begun here, you will not rule out there being plenty more goals in this first period. The question remains, can Birmingham get a foothold before they're swept away?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to change it, because they cannot afford to concede a third. Birmingham, you know, they look all right going forward, but as soon as any sort of balls play through at the back, they're just struggling to deal with it. And with Carter and Sargent flattened out to those wing backs to a back five, it doesn't look good going forward. It's the key decisions to make now for Dave Parker. What's he going to do? Stick or twist?
Well, I admired his thought process and his desire to get at Arsenal and to blast out of the blocks, but you have to get the balance right. So far Birmingham really have struggled to do that. You need a set piece. Oh, now was that a handball? It was certainly close to the arm, and there's another claim as the ball is slammed wide. I think Birmingham had a couple of claims there, and my gut feeling is that one might have been.
Yeah, definitely the first one, from where I was sat there, just looked like the defender, who it was, just had a hands in front of it. Yeah, it didn't look as obvious in that first time as the other one, but that, I think that did it, Alex Scott's hand. But you can't, it's got to be, you've got to mean to do it, you know, it's got to be intentional. I'm not sure Alex Scott meant to do that, trying to block the ball.
I think the second one was more, I don't think she could have got her arm out of the way. The first one, we talk about this unnatural position, the arm was flapping a little bit. The question was, did it strike it? Certainly my gut feeling, and from what you were saying, yours, was that it might well have done. And it's just that kind of twist of fate that might just put Birmingham back into this contest. And it was a set piece that caused the havoc, and Birmingham still have that within them. If they can get into the final third and swing a couple of high balls over, they will feel that they can cause a problem or two.
Not really getting close to Arsenal. I think that would have been part of the game plan, Birmingham, that they get close to Arsenal and put them under pressure, but that's not really happened yet.
Carter won't reach that one. Well, let's take another look.
This is the first one, is the one that, from where I was and I'm sat, I think that looks like a foul.
One again. I think that was a handball. I think that was a penalty.
Yeah, the hand was in the air, wasn't it? And as it went past her, it hit her arm. But I do actually think it was a foul before that on an Arsenal player, so it swings and roundabout.
Offside flag is going to thwart Corredera on this occasion, but again, that feeling that Arsenal in that final third, when they get towards the edge of the Birmingham area, have the beating of Birmingham's back three.
Yeah, it just needs a little bit more protection in front of the back three, Birmingham, just to make sure that the likes of Jordan Nobbs can't run with it like that. Corredera is running across the back line. Just got to get in the faces, just work harder to defend. It's been a
really frenetic opening 19 minutes. They really have flown by. Sometimes you can put a commentator's curse on a match, but it just doesn't seem as though this game can possibly end 2-0. The way that both sides are going at this. Birmingham have another set piece now, which they can try and craft something off the training ground.
Yeah, you can see Birmingham, you can see that the quality when they do get themselves in Arsenal's defensive third. It's just got to get themselves back into this game rather quickly.
Potter's delivery is normally reliable. Van Veenendaal came for it and got it, took out a couple of her own players in the process, it seems.
That's carnage there. She completely took a pair of Vicky Losada and Gemma Rose out, but she made a decision to come out and punch or come out and get rid of the ball, and she definitely did that. She knew she was at risk, going through a lot of bodies there. In the end, caused a little bit of pain for her teammates. She did what she had to do.
I think, in all honesty, that you applaud your goalkeeper if they come and get something on it like that. Obviously, if you've got one on the back of the head, you might feel differently, but that was good goalkeeping in the main.
It's confident. When you go and there's a lot of bodies in front of you, sometimes it's difficult, but whoever it is in front of you, you've just got to knock them out of the way and not worry about it.
I guess it was one of the big calls that coach Pedro Martinez Loza had to make, really, as to the goalkeeping position, because it was pretty much Emma Burns for her entire career, really, and one of the big decisions he made, he brought in Sari van Veenendaal a few months ago and now has put her in net. It's in many ways a decision that he's making, saying that this is the future, this is the way the future is going to go.
Yeah, quite a lot of the time, Arsenal this season have been going through transition, bringing new players in, and Emma Burns had a terrific career. You can't take that away from her. Arsenal's still a very, very good goalkeeper, but also obviously has his ideas about going forward, and Van Veenendaal is definitely a big part of that, and she's become a fixture in the last few games.
It's good to see Vicky Losada reasonably back to her senses. You can see she's ailing a touch. I guess as a defender, you can almost sense your goalkeeper coming from behind you to try and get the ball, and you kind of probably grit your teeth and expect a whacking. That's what happened. Birmingham demonstrating that the Continental Cup semi-final may be at stake, but there is still terrific sportsmanship involved and respect for both sets of players as Birmingham concede possession to the hosts. And the key to any defence is communication, and we could hear it quite audibly there.
Birmingham need to get up the pitch as well. There's quite a big gap between those defensive three, the midfield and the attack. Just squeeze that space. Arsenal are just having loads of fun in.
Scott again opting to go long, a little more directly. It's a super ball from Carney, and Linnett once again is onside and once again trying to bear down on goal. Just held up at the vital moment. Let's look a player though, and was looking for a flag. It didn't come against Carney, but Carney and Linnett, not for the first time, have shown that there is an optimistic feeling about Birmingham, that they have the belief they can get back into this game.
Yeah, quick going forward, Linnett. She needs to make better decisions when she gets in front of goal. She got free from Rose. Casey Stoney was coming across, but she could have got a shot off. Oh, look, passed it off to Karen Carney in the end. She just got flooded with players, but a bit of positive there for Birmingham.
On it goes towards Carter. Just about got beyond Harrop, who, to be fair, readjusted her position well. Here's the other Carter, Jessica. Forward by Harrop, looking towards Linnett. Not going to get to it, though. Away by Rose. Scott. Played again by Linnett. Now Carney. Time to turn, measure up the options for Lawley. It's the Best move that Birmingham have constructed really from open play. Can they keep it going? Potter gets the return from Linnett, who was caught. Potter on, it's a good ball as well, and Carney tried to get to it. Was she caught? Birmingham have a couple of bodies on the floor. Both of them have picked themselves up.
So much better play from Birmingham there. String a few passes together, get the quality of Joe Potter on the ball. Great little dink through to Karen Carney, but excellent defending by Alex Scott. Just managed to get toe poke to it first, but that's better. They've got to take confidence from that, Birmingham, that they have the quality. Just a little bit of composure going forward.
There's no better tackle than the one that you make as a defender, coming from behind a striker who, if you get it wrong, will get brought down, and you've conceded a penalty and a red card. Alex Scott's challenge was magnificent. Here come Birmingham again, and Linnett again is looking lively, looking as though she feels that Birmingham can get the crucial next goal.
Casey Linnett getting herself in good position this time. She managed to get the shot off a little bit earlier the other times, but just not on target. That's better the last couple of minutes. Possession's been with Birmingham, and you know, in Arsenal's defensive third, and they've just managed to sort of stop the constant flow of Arsenal attack.
There's Carter. Westwood goes out wide. Carter has the support inevitably of Scott, uses as a decoy this time. Asada, Carter again. Scott trying to find Natalia. You could see the intent was good. Kept away by Westwood up towards Linnett, who fancies herself in a foot race, and you can understand why from what we've seen today. Rose did well. Stoney back to the goalkeeper. Arsenal's philosophy of trying to build up patiently from the back was evident there. And now here they come with Scott. Played through well by Nobbs, who's continued to run forward and wanted to get on the end of the Scott cross. Carter, Linnett. Just to turn away from Rose. Good crunching tackle from Nobbs. Birmingham throw.
Just need to keep the units intact, Birmingham. Westwood have just stepped out to try and get the ball there, and it just causes a gap that Alex Scott can run into. Just try and keep as compact as possible, because that's why they've conceded twice.
Arsenal finish third in the Women's Super League, so 5 points behind the champions. Which will be a source of great frustration for them.
And Wilson, she's playing left back, she doesn't usually play there. She's got so much confidence on the ball. She's quite happy to take players on. Sargent's just make sure that she was stopped in her tracks.
Just to complete the picture, Birmingham finished 6th in the Women's Super League, which is actually their lowest ever finish since the creation of the WSL. As their manager was pointing out pre-match, the decimation, certainly in the early part of the season, to his squad of injuries and a couple of suspensions thrown in as well, meant that they never really got started. In the end, it was all about just gathering enough points to keep them in the division. Wow, there was an arm wrapped around the body of Casey Stoney there. She appealed to the referee.
I think that was Mannion, aware of the threat of Casey Stoney at set pieces. Just got to stay as close as possible to it, within the rules, of course, but the referee didn't see anything.
Mannion did well there.
The problem with the WSL, Alistair, is that because it's only 14 games long, so you know that's when leagues usually start going, and so if you're not consistent over 3 or 4 games, then you haven't got a chance of getting anywhere near the top. And if you win 3 games on the bounce, you sort of move yourself up a couple of places, and if you lose, you get yourself down near the bottom. And they just didn't get any sort of momentum, Birmingham. The only momentum they've got is through the Continental Cup run, you know, so they've shown the sort of the quality through that.
They've certainly shown their quality in the last 5 or 10 minutes of this game. It's a shame they couldn't find something creative at the end of it. Well, there was definitely Mannion's arms wrapped around Stoney, preventing her from jumping. It's outside the area, but...
Yeah, I think you could see that. I think Casey also, can you see where Casey's arm is? She will be holding Mannion as well, but Mannion will just stop her from moving. But Casey will be used to that. She probably didn't moan as much as she should, because that's what she does in her own defensive third anyway.
Here's Lasada. You can see what she was thinking, trying to thread it through for Carter. Carter was so frustrated because it nearly came to her as well. Really good vision from Lasada to try and thread that pass through. And, Arsenal's pressure sufficient that Bagley just has to thump it out of harm's way. And Carter's been terrific today already, and has her name on the score sheet. Here's Scott. Carter. Gets herself away from Harrop, but concedes a throw in the process. Here's Lasada. Again, a sensible ball out towards Natalia. Well defended this time. Looks as though Birmingham settled down defensively as well. Here's Janssen. It's given away. Oh, she's lucky to get away with it. Nobbs has the shot at the end of it. Remy Allen miscontrolled it, and looks as though she's turned her ankle perhaps a little bit in the process.
Yeah, they're defending a little bit better, coping with Arsenal's attack a little bit better with protection of Remy Allen and Joe Potter in front as those front three. Just gave away. I think she just got stuck there in the turf. I think she's probably more embarrassed than anything else in the turn around. It's easier to limp than go bright red.
Almost every play has come over to this side as Bagley kicks. It's won though by Natalia and guided back by Harrop.
It's a big ask of a young goalkeeper playing WSL 1. I speak to a few people, she's actually done really well since Becky Spencer got injured. There's a little bit more experience to a goalkeeper. But like I say, a big ask to come here in the semi-final. She'll learn from the experience.
In fairness to her, there was absolutely nothing she could have done about either goals that have gone beyond it.
Exactly, and she's got to make sure that that doesn't affect her in a game, the rest of the game.
Birmingham have really got into this game. They've grown. Here's Lawley. Terrific from a neutral perspective if they could get the next goal today. Here's Scott. Now Carter. Super play from her again. Gets beyond Harrop. Equally so. She's pulled Westwood out of position. Natalia's in the area and she just missed it. Nobbs keeps it under Arsenal possession. Thumped in with pace by Lasada, who claimed a handball, but I think it was more optimistic than anything else. And then Linnett just puts the palm of her hand accidentally into the face of Janssen and concedes the free kick. Now the Arsenal players say this should be a handball.
Yeah, a similar sort of challenge from Remy Allen as Alex Scott's just coming into block. When you go into block, she's just had her hands up. You see that is handball, but again, you know, it's fired at her at such speed from a yard away, but a little bit similar to Alex Scott. Usually you see the position the referee's in, that he saw that and should really give it outside the area. Would have been a free kick.
Nigel Lugg in charge today. Had a couple of decisions to make, but in the main it's been a pretty honest contest. Change of ball. Arsenal free kick. Gemma Rose giving out the signals before delivering to the far side, where Corredera tried to reach it, couldn't quite. Here's Janssen, now Williamson. And Birmingham will have a goal kick.
So Birmingham have got the players to counter at pace, the likes of Lawley, Linnett, Carney, you know, get Joe Potter on the ball, and you know, it's just the starting positions are key, and just not getting that defensive bit right, or they didn't at the start of the first half, but they just settled a little bit now. He'll be a lot happier with the last 10 minutes or so, but they've got to get themselves a goal and back in the game as soon as they can.
Yeah, the last thing you want as a team is to have been knocked out because of the first 15 minutes of a 90-minute football match. Birmingham will rue the opening 15 because the subsequent 20 have been a lot more.
Fire goals, he likes his teams to play, but just that first sort of 10 or 15 minutes or so, they actually played forward a lot quicker and less passes than they usually do, and got themselves 2-0 up.
And it was a very un-Arsenal goal, the second one in particular, but the beauty of any side is their ability to just adapt their game to what presents towards you in any particular given moment. Decision making. It was the right ball over the top, and Carter took the chance very well, and a 2-goal margin is a lot more secure. To be fair, Birmingham are expressing themselves now, and with particularly Linnett looking sharp and in the mood, and Carney making those runs in support of her. They've won a free kick here, right by the corner flag. There is genuine encouragement for the visitors.
Yes, the pace of Lawley causes problems, quite tricky. And like we said before, Birmingham have that quality from set piece. He's got the quality. Corredera didn't really need to put any sort of foot in.
And now the markings have gone a little bit awry, and a super chance for Remy Allen, who had the time to control it and pick out her spot, but she skied it.
I don't really think she was expecting it, Remy Allen. She had a lot of time, big chance for Birmingham there. I don't know whether she could have had a strike first time. She has that technical ability to do that. In the end, I think the first touch just caused it to be just rise in front of her, the ball. But a big chance for Birmingham.
Well, they've had a couple of good moments, Birmingham, to at the very least have given themselves a platform from which to build. Statistics are always formulated on every football match these days, and that tells you that it's been quite an even contest, despite what the scoreline may suggest. But the significance is that the two shots Arsenal have had on target have nestled in the back of the net. One thing that's always fascinated me, Lucy, I have to say, is that they don't count shots against the frame of the goal as being on target. I've never quite worked that one out, but anyway.
But they are, aren't they?
Well, there's plenty of action that you can enjoy with us, of course, on BT Sport. And there is the Continental Cup final. Whoever wins this will face either Liverpool or Notts County on November the 1st. That's live on BT Sport 2 HD from 2:30. Do join us for that. This weekend, the Premier League gets back underway again from 10 o'clock. Fletch and Sav will be looking forward to it in BT Sport 1 HD, and in particular they'll be building up to the midday kick-off, and Jurgen Klopp making his bow as Liverpool manager at White Hart Lane. White Hart Lane, where last time they were featured, of course, they destroyed Manchester City. Here's Janssen. Birmingham have it with Carney, a little hook round the back by Janssen that just has to get penalised, and in fact there's a yellow card coming, and it's more for the series of challenges, says the referee.
Yeah, that's Janssen in midfield, and she's got to get close to players, and she does do that, but I just think she's just in a series of fouls that the referee's not happy with, the last one being on Karen Carney. Karen Carney's got such quick feet that you sort of try and lunge in. If you're not really accurate, then the quick feet get past you and you give the foul away.
To be fair to Carney, she literally made nothing of it, just got about her business and took a place up for delivery of the free kick. But the referee felt the number of challenges that she has mistimed warrants the card. little disappointing on the delivery for a side as good as they are at set pieces. This is the reason that Janssen gets a yellow.
Yeah, that's from behind as well. Janssen didn't really need to do that because there was other Arsenal players there. Jordan Nobbs there to challenge Cascani. Maybe a little bit of frustration on her part.
I can think of some players who would have made a bit of more of a dramatic, acrobatic tumble turn having been on the end of that challenge, but Carney just got on with it. It's great to see.
Tell you what, Jordan Nobbs is a good player. Technically, as you see the first touch there, she comes down. She makes a difference to this Arsenal team. And the transition from defence to attack, and quite a lot of it does go through here, and I just think it makes the likes of Lasada play better when she's got Nobbs at the side of her.
Missed a section of the season, perhaps crucially really, a period in which they lost a couple of crucial games, Arsenal. No team can be reliant on one particular player, and that doesn't matter what level, but when you miss someone as significant as she, and as you say, those who like her to be around to play off her, it does make a difference. Carter now is onside and couldn't believe her luck. Maybe had that little glance to the assistant just to check before she hit the shot and never really got any connection.
That's the second time she's got in behind as well. Dan Carter, it was probably Alex Scott who was offside, but Dan Carter wasn't. It's interesting that the assistant referee didn't put his flag up, but maybe she should have used the left foot there just to bury that chance.
Yeah, it's because Scott was in that area but didn't particularly go for the ball, then you get into this debate about active, inactive, all that kind of stuff, and the assistant felt that because it was Carter who come from an onside position who went for the ball, the fact Alex Scott sort of gestured towards it rather than attacked it meant he could keep his flag down. Here's Carter again. Scott. Lovely floated ball which Natalia tried to get herself on the end of. Corredera. I wonder if he's going to book both of them.
Yeah, she wasn't happy with that Mel Lawley, but to be honest, I don't blame her. She'd actually got past Lasada. Lasada just giving her a little bit of a tug.
Sure, he carded Lawley in the end. I think he just threatened her with it for her reaction. She was definitely hauled back, and the referee, to be fair, gave it. But got to be careful with reactions like that, because even though you're the player wronged, you're the one that can get a card. She's miles off, by the way. The flag long since up, Linnet. But how many times have you seen that down the years? The player who is fouled is the one that ends up red carded for the reaction to the foul.
She drifted offside there. Yeah, you're right. And there's a lot of players who try and sort of goad that sort of reaction from players that they know have got a short fuse. I don't think Mel Lawley there. I think the crowd didn't particularly help that for the referee, but that was fair play. Yellow card to Lasada. I don't really see a yellow card for Lawley in that incident.
Well, BT Sport, of course, is your home of the UEFA Champions League, and it all gets back underway again Tuesday week, the 20th. Champions League tonight on BT Sport Europe HD from 6:30 and Ultra HD live as well. And of course, if you're not aware already, all 8 matches are available. But the headline acts, of course, Arsenal against Bayern Munich from 7:30. What a massive game that is. Arsenal off to a disastrous start. And of course, on the same evening, Chelsea in action as well. Now onside here, Carney, and she's got goal side. And it was never an easy ball to hit goal bound, but knowing her ability, she'll probably feel a little disappointed she couldn't test the keeper.
Yeah, I was expecting her to, because she has that technical ability, awareness, gets herself in good positions, but she just could not follow the action through. Definitely a chance for Birmingham.
Here's Carney again, definitely not offside. Here's the opportunity. It's the inside of the post. Van Veenendaal just got the merest of touches on the ball to help it onto the post.
And what Carney did there, she walked back on side, got herself between rows and Casey Stoney.
Arsenal have, in this second half of the first half, if you see what I mean, have certainly been second best, and Birmingham have had the chances to have pulled level.
So there's no real centre-half looking out for Carney there. She managed to get in between them, and she was onside. There's two good chances.
Again, Carney's connection was not quite as true as you expect from her, and it's allowed Van Venendaal to get a piece of it and help it onto the post. The chances are falling to the right. That's a handball from Linnet, by the way.
Arsenal just need to keep it tight, because I think it will make a difference. Should Birmingham get one back before half-time, it gives them the impetus. It'll change the half-time team talk from Dave Parker. They just need to sort of settle down a little bit. It's definitely a handball by Linnet, but they have been in the ascendancy the last part of the first half. Alistair, it's important that Arsenal just take it through to half-time.
Again, Carney's timed the run. Linnet on the other side as well. She's trying to get there, but not easy to get beyond Stoney at the best of times. But Carney busy and purposeful and full of tricks. The ball in's a good one. Linnet almost got to it as well. It'll be a very different half-time team talk than you were probably expecting as a Birmingham player after 15 minutes. I would have thought that the coach will be positively encouraged by what he's seen in the latter stages of this first 45 minutes.
I think what you'll find is that the next goal is crucial. If it goes to Arsenal, then it's killed the game. If it goes to Birmingham, then it'll be a real cup tie.
You just got that sense, didn't you, after that second goal went in, that Arsenal might run away with it. So it's to Birmingham's credit that mentally they've managed to stabilise themselves, and this game plan that they came to Arsenal with has started actually to have an impact as the game has worn on. They have caused Arsenal problems high up the field, as indeed he wanted them to. And he'll have as many concerns as the visiting manager. I think everyone out there and within the stadium's aware that this next goal, whoever it comes to, will be decisive. Well, it's been a really entertaining first half, and it's to Birmingham's credit that they have responded to the strikes from Corredera and then Carter. Arsenal absolutely in control of this game after 15 minutes, but to be fair to the visitors, they've had a host of good chances since. Maybe they ought to have pulled themselves level, but they haven't done. And at half-time, Arsenal lead by 2-0.
So half-time at Menno Park.
Welcome back to Meadow Park for our live coverage of the continental semi-final between Arsenal and Birmingham. Let me just point you in the direction of some international football coming away on Tuesday night when Gareth Southgate's England under-21s continue their qualification campaign for the 2017 European Championship. The Young Lions facing Kazakhstan at Coventry's Ricoh Arena, and that is from 5:15 on BT Sport 2 on Tuesday. The team's just about to come out, so just have a quick chat with our guests, Annie Luco and Sue Smith. Annie, we talked just before the break about the chances that Birmingham have had, and Kirsty Linnet has got herself in some good positions, and you've been shouting at her to score. Goals have been hard to come by for Birmingham. Is that a case of that they've not been ruthless enough, she's not got enough support, or is it a confidence thing?
I think they just don't have that killer edge up front. I think, and it comes down to confidence. I think when you get those opportunities as a striker, you've got to be confident that you're going to put it away, and it just shows that there's lacking. But I think for Birmingham this half, they've got to take confidence from that. I think the next goal is crucial. Arsenal will be saying, let's get the third to kill them off. Birmingham will be saying, we'll get one, we're back in the game. So it really depends on who's going to score the first goal in the second half.
And as you're saying, Sue, they can take some positives from that first half, Birmingham.
Yeah, I think the team talk would have been completely different from the first 15 minutes to the last 15 minutes, because, you know, they were completely dominated by Arsenal, and it seemed like they didn't really know what they were doing at the back. They were getting broke down easily, which isn't Birmingham at all, because this season they've been, obviously we've seen, very difficult to break down. So I think the team talk would have been very positive and said more of what you did in the second part of the first half.
Let's get to our second half then. Our commentary team of Lucy Ward and Alistair Mann.
Yeah, there's even a pre-second half huddle, but I think has just been alluded to. The half-time team talk within the Birmingham ranks from David Parker would have been that there is a real belief that they can find a way back into this game, because after the shock really of the opening 16-17 minutes in which they conceded those 2 goals and looked as though they might be on the end of a real hiding, Birmingham have been the better team, created better chances and really ought to have scored, and it looks as though they might well have gone to a back 4, Lucy.
I think Emily Westwood might have moved into midfield and see how it goes, or whether they've just set up like that just to fool Arsenal.
If they have gone back to a back 4, it's perhaps a decision that perhaps has come maybe 30 odd minutes too late, but anyway.
I mean, sorry, Alison, I think the thing is, towards the end of the half, the game plan that they'd obviously set out started to work, and now they've got a real strong team ethic, Birmingham. They all want to play for each other, so they know if they can get that first goal back and it gets to 2-1 and, you know, they try and make Arsenal wobble, then it's a real cup tie on their hands, but they've just got to finish off one of these chances.
They were mightily close to getting that all-important goal, and I guess deep down, particularly Karen Carney will feel that Birmingham ought to have scored one of those chances, and all of a sudden they're exposed, and Corridera around the back to finish the tie. Oh, good save, but the rebound is slammed in by Scott, and well, within 70 seconds all the good work at the end of the first half and all the planning in the half-time team talk may well have unravelled before their very eyes.
It's just a concentration here. Megan Sargent, you can see there, just steps forward. She's the wing back, and they're just in disarray. They're not really in any sort of line. Corridera's got a lot of time to think about it. It's a good save by Bagley, but Birmingham are not first to it. And to be fair to Alex Scott, that's a great finish, right into the roof of the net. Goalkeeper no chance, but just Corridera just dared to drift forward, and she gets in behind Megan Sargent. Great finish by Alex Scott.
Well, again, you have to feel enormous sympathy for the young keeper. She's made a good stop there and she deserved better luck, but all of a sudden, within 70 seconds of the restart, what had seemed the basis of what could have been a terrific comeback from Birmingham, the way they ended the first half, well, now they have to find 3 goals in less than 45 minutes for a team who haven't scored often enough this season.
We always thought the third goal was going to be important. Arsenal get it to kill the game off, and that's the ideal start to the second half for Arsenal. And their manager, he will be really, really happy with that. It was a little bit of lacking concentration from Birmingham, but you know, in the end, the finish from Alex Scott right into the roof of the net, and the keeper has no chance. First to it.
Well, we witnessed her other goal this season from the right-hand side. Looked more like a cross than a shot that day, as it went into the back of the Manchester City goal. Nothing accidental about that one.
Yeah, because they play quite a narrow midfield, Arsenal, it just does give Alex Scott the chance to get forward, and she did so then.
Birmingham will never ever give up. Here's Lawley. Now, there were options, particularly to the left-hand side, and Lawley, well, I think should have chosen one of them.
Yeah, and the option at the left-hand side was Karen Carney as well. She kept herself on side and she just needed to be slid in. Just desperate to get themselves back in it, but they've got to make the right decisions.
And Melissa Lawley, 21, Sophie Bagley, 18, Mannion, 20, Sargent, 21, Carter, 17. They're a largely young set of players, Birmingham. And while their energy is boundless, the decision-making is what comes with experience and time. And maybe that was half the problem there for Lawley and one or two of her colleagues, that the decisions they've made at crucial times haven't been the best.
And both these teams have got a really good youth structure underneath them and producing players for the first team, and you know, to be self-sufficient, that's what you've got to do at this level. Produce your own players, not just rely on bringing players from outside. What you find is the players want to play for the club, and you know, they give their all to it. But like you said, they need the experienced players around them, and Arsenal have struggled earlier on in the season when they had quite a lot of their midfield were young, when they didn't have Nobbs in there. You know, that really the only experienced campaigner was Casey Stoney at the back, and it's very, very difficult if they're all young players and need some help in there.
Pumped away by Rose.
Tell you what, I know as well, Gemma Rose will be an England player in the future, I think. because of working with Casey Stoney this last season. I think she's helped her tremendously.
Came from the Bristol Academy. This is her first season at Arsenal. And real signs that she has matured as the season has gone on.
Being a centre half, it's all about positioning and not always having to make last-ditch tackles and getting yourself in a position where you intercept the ball. And the experience that Casey Stoney's got, and she's got to learn, and you can tell Gemma Rones has learned. A really good centre-back partnership, the pair of them two.
Williamson forward, nice touch towards Corridera by Nobbs. Carter's in the way of the other Carter getting to the ball, but eventually it's Dan Carter on the ball. Now Scott, who just loves to get forward. Nobbs surely thrust an arm at that. Whether or not she got it is of little consequence, as Birmingham can bring it away anyway. Here's Linnett. Harrop, Carter. Mannion back to Bagley, who made a terrific save in the build-up to the third Arsenal goal. And will feel as though the gods were against her. Here's Lawley. Linnett's made a decent run in front of her. And here is Linnett. The flag stays down quite rightly. Still looking for the angle. It's on target. That's a good grasp into her body by Van Venendorp. They're still fashioning.
I did well in the end there, Linnett. I thought she'd run out of options there. She took it right side to left side, but in the end it really opened up for it. Denwell did really well. Get a hand on it, catch it quite firmly.
I remember talking to a manager earlier this season whose team had gone through a barren spell of goal scoring, and I said, how much of a concern is it? And he said, well, it would be a lot more if we weren't fashioning chances, and that seems to be Birmingham's issue, because they have created a half a dozen really good openings but haven't found the net.
Yeah,
got herself 3 goals in this Continental Cup run. Remy Allen's got herself 3, Jo Potter 4, but they couldn't even manage double figures in their 14 league games. It just shows you that there is the potential for them to score goals. As long as they're fashioning chances, it will come. Arsenal have taken the vast majority of theirs today.
That's a great ball from goalkeeper Sophie Bagley. She did well there. She was out. Good piece of goalkeeping, out first to the ball, and then instead of panicking, she gets the ball out there to Kaz Carney. And now they've got to throw in further up the pitch.
Potter forward. It's just above the head of the advancing Allen, and Birmingham have a corner.
You can't help that Birmingham have got a real mountain to climb. They really didn't need to concede that third goal, but they just keep getting in the right positions, putting Arsenal under pressure.
Cooking something up short from this corner. Plenty of target to wait. The delivery, which isn't the best. Allen will retrieve possession though for Birmingham. Here's Mannion. Carney. Linnett, Carney. It's a bit of a mess in there. The referee decides that the free kick award against Gemma Rose is the way to go.
She's not afraid to make a challenge there. She could see Carney coming through and firm challenging in the end. I think she just dragged Remy Allen down. There were smiles afterwards.
So Birmingham free kick. 35 minutes to go. And a goal now would at least give them something to bite upon. And they might get it. No, the flag's up. The flag's up. It's a shame because the finish from Sargent was tidy. But the flag was up, and Birmingham, who finally did take one of their chances, are then thwarted by the officials.
I think Sargent, as it was a good ball by Karen Carney. It was in for Emily Westwood. You can see there, she just drifted it, hit Emily Westwood's head. A great finish, left foot.
It's a great shame, isn't it? From a neutral perspective, it was what this tie needed. The flag rightly means it stays 3-0. The strange thing is, Lucy, that the 25 minutes of the end 25 minutes of the first half and the opening 10 minutes of this have been of a similar pattern, with Birmingham looking the likeliest to score and looking the better side going forward, and yet it's Arsenal who've added to the scoreline.
Absolutely, I just think they lost concentration at the back, Birmingham, when they shouldn't have done right at the start of the second half, and they've just put more pressure on themselves to get back in this game. And again, you know, at the end of this game, they'll probably ruin missed chances. They've just got to put one or two of those away and just put pressure on Arsenal.
There's no questioning the character of this Birmingham side. Their heads could have dropped and they could have just been thinking in terms of damage limitation, but they're actually thinking in terms of there being the opportunity to find a way back into this tie. Allen with a sensible ball to bring in the advancing Lawley. Just ran into Janssen. Arsenal will get this one away to Corredera, whose opening goal set the tone for the game. The early tone, at least. Carter will give chase. Harrop with it. It's a good idea from Lawley to dummy it, but didn't quite come off.
I think it's important that Birmingham do commit players forward, commit those wing backs, because otherwise it's just a flat back five, and Carter at the other side push back. Megan Sargent has to see that and just cause problems down this left-hand side of Arsenal's.
The winners of this tie will get themselves into the final against the winners of the semi-final between Liverpool and Notts County. And it's looking increasingly as though Arsenal will be the first team to qualify. Guided forward by Lasada, but picked off well by Carter. Here's Janssen, Nobbs. Away by Rose, Carter in the way again. Done some good work for Birmingham in that particular aspect of play. Here's Potter, helped on neatly and tidily by Carney, and Linnett again is looking menacing, and the pass is a sensible one as well, and Lawley has it, and Linnett, brilliant! Well, in some ways that's been the most difficult opportunity that Birmingham have had, but Linnett takes it with aplomb, and we have a cup tie on our hands.
She's done well, Linnett, because she's had various opportunities, difficult ones. You know, she just kept going, and that's the thing about forwards. They've just got to keep going. It doesn't matter, you know, whether you're affected by the missed chances. I mean, that's a terrific finish. By the time it gets back to it, really have that much time to think about it. Really, really good finish. Now, is that too little, too late? I know it's half an hour left, but you know, 3-1 Arsenal, particularly if they're finishing the chances like they did in the first half and the start of the second, but it just gives them a little glimpse of hope, Birmingham.
Well, and they've won a free kick as Linnett is tripped. And as I mentioned just a couple of minutes before that goal, it's been very much all Birmingham since about the 20th minute of the contest. And that foul on Linnett there gives them the opportunity to create something once more. One thing about sport is that momentum's a huge thing, and if Birmingham can harness this momentum, who knows? Deflection on the shot will make it an easy gather for Van Venendaal.
Yeah, Arsenal just need to ease the pressure on themselves a little bit. They're really sharp in midfield. The likes of Nobbs and Lasada, a lot sharper than Birmingham have been in that particular area of the pitch, and they just need to sort of turn it around a little bit. Use the pace they've got up front as well.
Bit of an up and under clearance. So, to be fair, Rose reacts and tries to bring Arsenal forward on the counter-attack. Here's Carter, who's been starved largely of possession in this second period. Now Natalia, who quite literally hasn't had a chance in this game. And Allen then with another important tackle, and Birmingham have numbers forward again, and Potter drives them on. Carney trying to get involved. Potter looking for it. It's a Birmingham throw. Here's Linnett. Good hit! Just swung away off the boot. You could see it was going wide. Well, she didn't get that one right, but boy, did she get this one.
Yeah, she obviously got the confidence to take that second strike, but her goal is really, really good finish. You know, not much time to think about it, but she just got the accuracy right. Just give Van Veenendaal no chance whatsoever and gets her team back in the game.
Well, the last thing she'll be hoping is that it's nothing more than a statistic in a defeat. She'll be hoping it's the beginnings of a dramatic turnaround in a cup tie. Here's Sargent. Now Linnett, good touch, Allen. Lawley. Again, Birmingham with plenty forward. Arsenal being stretched again. Allen just couldn't quite get beyond Nobbs. And Williamson brings it away. Good tackle by Mannion. They're winning all the loose ball in midfield at the moment, Birmingham. Here's Linnett. Potter. Carter out wide. Birmingham growing in confidence. If you'd just joined this game, you'd have to just check who was leading it.
Yeah, what Birmingham have done, they've moved the midfield forward and squashed that space and just didn't allow Arsenal to pass it as easy as they did in the first half.
Look where Scott is though. 1 minute at the back, next minute leading a counter charge up the other end of the field. Potter opting to go long to Linnett. It's a good ball. And again the support. Unlucky. Good idea from Linnett. Looks a play, doesn't she?
She does. She wants to get on the ball, which is good. Well, she works hard as well. I think the better option there was just to slide Karen Carney in again on that left. It just opened up for her, but you know, she's the focal point of the attack for Birmingham at the moment.
Well, Arsenal have a player down here in the Birmingham half. It's Natalia who is in need of some treatment, but it gives us an opportunity to tell you about various games you can enjoy with us on BT Sport, not least of which the cup final that these two sides are trying to reach, the Continental Cup final on Sunday the 1st of November from 2:30 on BT Sport 2 HD, when the winners of this will face the winners of the Liverpool Notts County game. The Fletchens Sav show returns next Saturday morning from 10 o'clock on BT Sport 1 HD as they look forward to another Premier League weekend, which begins with a real cracker. Spurs against Liverpool from midday on BT Sport 1 HD and BT Sport Ultra HD. Jurgen Klopp's debut as Liverpool manager, just one of the many ingredients that'll make that a terrific watch. And of course, BT Sport is your home for the UEFA Champions League. And the Champions League Tonight show from 6:30 on Tuesday the 20th of October on BT Sport Europe HD and BT Sport Ultra HD. And then of course Arsenal against Bayern Munich, leading the 8 games that we'll be bringing you live that night from 7:30 on BT Sport Europe HD and BT Sport Ultra HD Live. And then on Wednesday, all 8 Champions League games, including the 2 Manchester clubs, and then on Thursday, the Europa League. I said it was Natalia who was down, I beg your pardon, it was Lasada, but it's not the first time she's been in the wars today.
It was a stretch from Westwood, and I think it just caught Lasada. She's been in the wars today and just caught her on a lower leg. And the referee wasn't going to give anything that on, and the challenge straight afterwards.
There was a little shake of the head from Lasada, and I wasn't sure if that was saying that she couldn't continue or that she didn't need any more treatment, but we shall find out, I'm sure, in the next few moments. There's plenty of activity on the sidelines for the hosts at the moment. Here's Natalia, just caught by Mannion. Mannion is furious that she's been penalised and quite literally had to be pulled away by Sargent, such was her fury.
Yeah, Mannion was just insisting that she really didn't do anything wrong there, and that Natalia slightly overreact. We'll see. She sort of tried to kick through, probably kicked the back of Natalia, but I think Mannion was not happy with her perceived overreaction by Natalia.
Williamson takes the resulting kick towards Corredera, headed away by Sargent. I know the word if is a futile one in sport, but if Birmingham had taken even one of those chances they created in the first half and maybe even not been flagged offside. The flag is up meanwhile against Carter when Sargent scored earlier. This could be an even more delicately poised cup tie.
I think while Birmingham are on top, which they have been sort of last 5 minutes or so, it might be just worth it pushing one of those midfielders a little bit further forward, add an extra body just to cause even more problems in Arsenal's defensive third, because it's worth it. I mean, you know, you can get back in the game 3-2 or maybe 3-all. You've just got to go for it. You may lose 4-1, but at least you've gone for it if you're Birmingham.
Header forward towards the ever-willing Allen. Potter, cleared by Rose. Carter got the call and left it for Harrop, and then Janssen gets it away, and Birmingham have sufficient control of the ball that the loose clearance is straight back with them again. Pass to Linnett, not good enough, and here's Corredera, stopped by Mannion, won by Sargent. Allen, now Lawley, gets beyond Corredera's challenge. Allen again, it's a good ball. Carter chasing, helped on towards her by Potter, but won by Dan Carter. We've not even reached the midpoint of this second half, and there is plenty of time for Birmingham here. Corredera, Williamson, Natalia, Nobbs, Scott. It's a good tackle by Carter. Lasada, Rose, Scott again. Carter picks it off for Birmingham. Potter. Plenty of options for her. One of them is Sargent's, just overhit though. Well, statistics to back up the feeling that you have that Birmingham are on top, highlighted by that statistic there.
Yeah, but they've just got to capitalise on it, Birmingham. Throw a little bit of caution to the wind. Just gamble a little bit in terms of pushing more bodies forward. But they're definitely creating the opportunities and just putting Arsenal under pressure at the back.
Forward by Nobbs, but again easily picked off this time by Harrop. Well, Lasada has really not recovered from the blow she took earlier, and Arsenal about to make a change. Lasada will surely be the player making way, but here's Linnett. That's a good challenge from Scott. Just as well she read that. Linnett's frustrated because she momentarily had got goal side.
She's done well there. It's good positioning from Linnett, but the speed of Alex Scott and awareness, she took it off her toe.
Linnett chasing again. Tidied up well by Gemma Rose. Will Arsenal make the change now? They're not going to be able to. Birmingham take the throw. Here's Mannion. Potter. Carney. Linnett. Just lost control of it. Yankees coming on, and Lasada is making way. And that is no surprise.
And just moving Corredera back to left back. Really shows the strength and depth that Arsenal have got, not just the young players, but bringing a player like Rachel Yankee on in a game like this. Lots of experience, pace, relying on her to try and turn this possession around a little bit more and get more of the ball in Birmingham's defensive half.
She's had to sate herself with almost a super sub role in recent times, Rachel Yankee, but it doesn't dampen her enthusiasm. And she'll want to make an impact in the 20 minutes that remain. Mannion back to her goalkeeper. Here's Mannion again. Potter. Harrop. Carter. Carney's offside.
You still see the threat that Birmingham have, the likes of Karen Carney. You get her on the ball in front of goal or down that either flank, and she could cause problems. And that's why Arsenal have really got to concentrate and see the game through.
In many ways, to have someone of her quality and experience just shows you one of the significant differences between the top 3 or 4 and those who struggled this campaign. Here's Scott round the outside to Birmingham with sufficient cover, and it's a goal kick.
So the problem as the game goes on and into the last few minutes of it, Birmingham are going to push players forward, and Arsenal know that bringing Yankee on is always an option on the counter with her pace. She cheat a little bit and just not come back really and do a defensive work and just be ready for the starting position for the counter.
Well seen by Nobbs. When it goes towards Linnett though, tries to get beyond Scott, so goes out for a throw. Claims that it was a handball amidst all of that, maybe even a shove as well, but it's just a throw for Arsenal. Here's Carter. If you could have just taken that first 15 minutes out of this game when Birmingham just did not settle and did not look as though they were organised. You just take that out of the equation, you'd favour Birmingham to win this game. They have never, ever given up on finding a way back in to the Continental Cup semi-final, and the delivery, when you're unchallenged from Carter, is of enormous frustration.
Yeah, and the quality in the middle there, the take from Karen Carney, let the ball run across the body. They've got to use opportunities, he knows that. I'm not going to get many more like that where they can put a good ball. Good young player, Jess Carter. And she's really established herself in this Birmingham team this season at left back and obviously left wing back. But they've just got to put a ball in the right areas.
Away unchallenged by Westwood, and it goes towards Carney, and there is movement up in front of her. Potter just not able to bring it into her stride, and here's Scott. Now Nobbs towards Dan Carter, but again Birmingham's cover is better. Birmingham will have the throw. Arsenal throw. Turned by Westwood, but Linnett not able to get on the end of it. There's plenty of weeks and months ahead to reflect on this particular performance, so you might as well give your all to the last 16 minutes of this game if you're a Birmingham player.
Absolutely, I mean, both teams want to get into this final, but this is the end of the season for whoever loses this game. Another 3 weeks preparation for the final, for the winner. It's definitely worth it all out for the last 15 or so.
Here's Linnett. Surely the best route to goal for Birmingham if they are going to grab these 2 goals they urgently require. Potter on towards Linnett. Does well, really well. She's won a free kick as well. Oh, interesting clash with Janssen.
She's done well when they're getting the ball up to her, Birmingham, into Lynette's feet. She's causing problems. She puts her body in the way between the player and the ball. But she just got a little bit angry, I think, with the attentions from Janssen and pushed into Janssen. I don't particularly think it's Janssen as much as laying on the floor suggests, but not really something that Lynette should be doing.
There's a yellow card out. Janssen will be hoping that it isn't her that's going to receive it, because she's already had one today. No, it's going to be Linnett.
A bit of niggle has just creeped into the game as we've gone on the last sort of 20 minutes or so, and I think the referee just needs to get a grip on it. You see there, she just gets her body in the way, stops Rose from getting into it, and in the end, that kick there from Janssen, the referee gives a free kick, and she's just really not happy with the kick from Janssen. But like, I'm not being funny, but that didn't hurt that much.
They breed them tough in Yorkshire, don't they, Lucy? So free kick to Birmingham. And it's in the arms of Van Venendal. Of course, the rule says that if you put your hands above shoulder height, then you're red carded. That was definitely not. Here's Carter. Nobbs. Scott couldn't quite get to it. Janssen. Nobbs. Given away. Change for Arsenal. Chioma Ubagagu is coming on. And Natalia, who's had by her standards a particularly quiet game, perhaps we should give credit to Birmingham, is the player making way. The introduction of Yankee and now Ubagagu shows that Arsenal have plenty to build a counter-attack, plenty of pace, and if they can get the ball up quickly enough, they can get what would be the end goal in this contest. But just at the moment, Birmingham still believing, still trying, still probing. The spirit of this Birmingham side just has to be applauded. Here they come again, and Linnett's got round the back again. But, Rose got to the ball and then just fell awkwardly, and the referee has to play on because Birmingham in possession of the ball. They have a corner now.
See, I always worry about players who go down when it's not really a challenge, it's just an awkward stumble or fall. That's what really seemed to happen there. You see there, just as she went into the challenge to try to intercept the ball from Kirsty Linnett. Just looks like just there when she just bent back. You see, that doesn't look good.
Why is it that the most innocuous moments are the ones that often lead to the most distressing injuries?
It's just a hyperextension of the knee. I actually tore my cruciate doing that, landing like that, and it's not very nice to see. But hopefully, Rose's injury is not quite as bad as that.
Well, the pacing up and down is Marcus Bignut, player I'm sure that you, or an ex-player that you recognise, many years a player in the Football League. He's a consultant for Birmingham City, but there's his girlfriend on the Arsenal bench.
It's his wife.
A wife, I beg your pardon, my apologies.
It's all right, keep up.
I took them back a couple of levels in their relationship.
Keep
No
up with
she was laughing.
Celebrity gossip.
Well, let's hope that the injury for Gemma Rose is not something that'll either A, damage her too much for this game, or certainly not put her out of a potential cup final in 3 weeks' time. We shall see. Birmingham, meanwhile, have a set piece against 10, and it was a wonderful opportunity which Westwood ought to have done better with. And in the context of this game, and indeed this competition, that is a big miss.
A free header as well, and Emily Westwood is usually so accurate with headers. She's got good technique, but just timed it completely wrong. Big chance for Birmingham, that, she knows it.
Change for Birmingham. Frida Ayisi is coming on. And Westwood creeps off. So a defensive player replaced by one who you would imagine is out there to try and grab a goal. And well, with 9 minutes to go, they've little option.
Yeah, lots of pace. Ayisi. Westwood really not happy with herself with that last chance. But they're just going to last throw of the dice for Dave Parker, throwing a quick, speedy forward up there.
On towards Ayisi. It's a little too heavy, and Van Venendaal will claim. It's all about game management now. 8.5 minutes to go for Arsenal. A 2-goal cushion, the Continental Cup final beckoning. They are the more experienced side. They have the players who you would imagine are best equipped to settle it down and slow it down and take control of the situation with a 2-goal advantage.
Yes, I'll be really disappointed if they let this go now. It's just the last 8 minutes or so. So just manage the game, it's a key aspect. Comes with experience. Let's just see whether they've got it. I'm sure they do.
There's Corridera, now Nobbs. Ayisi wins it back though. Allen emerges again with the ball. On by Sargent, good ball, Carney. Allen on towards Linnett, she'll give chase. Gemma Rose is back on and does well. It's really good to see that it wasn't as bad as it could have been from that awkward fall.
Like I say, I've seen that before, but she's strong, powerful legs. Actually protected her knee there.
I think the referee felt 6 of one, half a dozen of the other then when Linnett went down. Would have been an interesting call either way, really. Could have been a penalty had he thought that it was Stoney who was the offender. Could have been a second yellow card for Linnett had he felt that she was the offender. So settles for giving nothing, except there where he awards Birmingham a free kick. 7 minutes to go.
So now Birmingham just need to just get players forward, put the ball in the right area. If we can get one back here, then it'll be an interesting last few minutes.
Well, they're committing plenty to it, as you would imagine. Carter up and Carter the furthest player back. Mannion, other than that, there are 6 or 7 around the area waiting for the delivery, but they're not going to get on the end of that one. Thumped away by Carter, gathered in by Ayisi. She loses out though. Yankee wants it, gets it. Corridera, Yankee. Williamson, Nobbs. On by Janssen, but Birmingham have it back with Mannion. On towards Linnett. Well judged, as you'd expect from Casey Stoney. Cleared by Corridera. Mannion and Harrop have largely kept Arsenal at bay in the second period, apart from that first 70 seconds. One by Carter in front of the other Carter.
The intensity's quite lowered a bit, and it's credit to the way Arsenal are just trying to see out the llast few minutes. Birmingham just need to try and raise it again. Just move the ball quicker forward.
Arsenal get the verdict. That's what they want. Here's Potter. Carter on her back. Nobbs, Carter, Uwagagu. Now then, chance to stretch Birmingham for the first time really in the majority of this half. Uwagagu couldn't quite get the connection she was after, but it breaks for Corredera. It's hard to say she put too much on it, but it's flicked off the top of Harrop's head and out for a corner, which by my reckoning is the first corner that Arsenal have had in this second half.
It's good play by Uwagagu, and she turned there to have a shot, but good, again, good defending by Birmingham. I think Arsenal want to keep it up here. Just force the play in. Birmingham's defensive third, just to see the game out.
Less than 4 minutes now for Arsenal between them and a place in the Continental Cup final. It's a good catch by Bagali, and her use of the ball is excellent as well. And Nisi tried to release Lawley, couldn't quite manage it. Here's Corredera. Williamson up towards Nobbs. Mannion not for the first time this afternoon in the way. Linnets won it back, looking for support. Now Ayisi. Potter lost control of it and then concedes the free kick as Yankee takes a little tumble.
It's just a straight foot that Joe Potter had put out, not really any malice in there. Rachel Yankee used all her experience. Again, the free kick.
Wellings has come on, Carney has come off. Big call, I suppose, but maybe Carney had run herself into submission. Wellings does have a goal in it. Birmingham could do with having two. Backed away by Harrop. Well, that goal inside the first 2 minutes of the second half by Scott has really been the key to any fight back or potential fight back submerged that Birmingham might have wanted to lead, because they had played so well in the latter part of the first half. Their plans were good, and then the concentration lacking at the start of the second half. They've conceded a third, which ultimately really has sunk them.
Yeah, great time for Scott to score for Arsenal, not so much for Birmingham. I just think it knocks the stuff in. You've had a good half-time team talk, you come out determined to get yourself back in it, and then you concede again, and it's just a bridge too far, I think, for Birmingham.
Well, Arsenal, as teams leading in a cup semi-final with just a minute or two to go, often do, are making substitutions just to eat a few more seconds off the clock. Sampson's about to come on. Ball's not gone out of play yet, though. By Yankee and up towards Nobbs, and she'll get there, and Carter! Wow, she hit that beautifully, but just off target. And that would have finished it off once and for all.
Tell you what, that was worth a goal. Just look at Jordan Nobbs, she just breaks, gets past forwards, great touch, and plays in Carter with a second touch, and good strike, but it would have been a terrific goal had that gone in. And all the work done by Jordan Nobbs, brilliant.
And while you're watching that, Janssen made way. And Sampson came on. And also on the officials board, we'll see how much time there's going to be added on at the end of the half. 4 minutes.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 4 minutes added time. 4 minutes.
Here's Scott, who really enjoys coming forward. Now that the reaction of Carter to Allen is one of disbelief, I think. She feels that was a really unnecessarily robust attempt to win the ball.
Yeah, this is frustration there, Amy Allen. Tiredness and frustration. I don't think she intended to hurt Carter, but Carter really not happy with it.
It's a fantastic look, wasn't it? It's like something on the stage. Brilliant from Carter. Said everything without any words. She certainly played a part, Carter, today, particularly in that first 20 minutes when Arsenal blasted Birmingham straight from the blocks. Here's Linnett, who's certainly done her best today to... Oh, now then, what happened there? Just off the ball. Birmingham bench are furious.
It's just so difficult for the ref to keep an eye on things like that, that he's not watching. He's watching where the ball's going. He's just going to go speak to his assistant referee. But the Birmingham bench reacted to it.
Well, the fourth official certainly got a good view of it, and that's who is in deep dialogue with the referee. Welling's in a heap on the floor, and the referee, having had a chat with his fourth official, has now gone to his pocket and produced a yellow. A suspension, should it have been a red, would have meant no cup final. So I think Gemma Rose will be quite pleased that it was just a yellow card, because I must admit I didn't see exactly what happened. It looked more like a tangle than anything malicious, but maybe this will tell us definitively.
Had got the ball. No, it's just a body check. It's not.
Yeah, it is. It's a yellow card.
It's a yellow card. I just think the reaction of the Birmingham bench didn't help anything there. Didn't help the referee or anything. Just stood and pushed her out of the way. It looks worse from that angle, to be fair. And I think what Birmingham had seen is the challenge on Gemma Rose just before that. Gemma Rose obviously not happy with the challenge from Welling. He's not going to change the result of this game either way.
I'd say it's been a dirty game, but there has been just a little bit of simmering undercurrent throughout, hasn't there? Marcus Bignett certainly
right
might have a word or two when they get home with
right in the middle of it.
Emma Byrne, that's for sure. Here's Yankin. Oradera. Added time now complete. And Arsenal will take their place in the Continental Cup final again in 3 weeks' time. Now Carter's gone down after a challenge from the other Carter. Well, anyone who gets knocked out in a cup semi-final starts to get frustrated, and in a way, this is completely unnecessary.
Yeah, I think the referee just needs to blow his whistle, to be honest. There's a lot happening in front of both benches, and it's not the crowd's not happy about it. I don't think that was any sort of intention. She was caught there, Dan Carter. I don't think there's any intention from Jess Carter. Just there, you see her ankle just went over.
No, she's not intended that.
No,
I'm not suggesting it makes it any less
painful. I'm going to say there's no doubt that it hurt, but I just think when it's happening in front of the crowd there, and and the benches, that they're not really helping the situation. Had it been over at this side of the pitch, I don't think it would have been half as dramatic.
Well, we've now reached the 6th minute of 4 minutes of added time, if you see the logic. So with the score at 3-1, maybe sometimes just blow the final whistle and let Arsenal and Pedro Martinez Loza enjoy the moment. I think he'll have obviously been delighted with the result, but he'll have learnt a lot about his side today, because that start they had, they really ought to have just taken this game beyond Birmingham's reach, and they haven't done anything like that.
No, but they've also coped with what Birmingham's thrown at them as well, and I think that's a good measure of his side's progress this season. They've not succumbed to any of that pressure.
They've not conceded from any of the Birmingham set pieces that they're so famed for. Mannion just thumps it forward, Nobbs, and on towards Ubagagu, and now the referee does blow his whistle, and Arsenal are into the Continental Cup final. They have seen off Birmingham City, really courtesy of that opening 15-minute salvo where they grabbed the opening 2 goals. Birmingham had plenty of opportunities to score, but they were already 3 down before Linnett finally did put Birmingham back into the hunt. But try as they might, and boy did they try, Birmingham couldn't make up the gap, and they will go out and have plenty of time to reflect on what might have been. But it's all about Arsenal, who have been regular Continental Cup finalists. Twice they beat Birmingham in a final itself. This time they've beaten them in the semi-final by 3-1. They lost last year to Manchester City. They'll be looking to make amends this campaign when they face either Liverpool or Notts County. A game on Sunday, November the 1st at Rotherham United's New York Stadium. And a game that you can see live on BT Sport on Sunday the 1st of November from 2:30. A game which, if it's anything like this game, will be certainly worth putting in your diary and enjoying, because Arsenal and Birmingham have put on a real spectacle today. 1 or 2 moments of concentration is what's cost Birmingham today, and Arsenal have defended well when they've needed to. Goals from Corredera, from Carter, from Scott. Linnett in reply gives us a final score: Arsenal 3, Birmingham City 1. Arsenal into the final.
To those of you who are leaving the stadium, we thank you.
Alex, congratulations. Another cup final for Arsenal, and you must be looking forward to that, to finish on a high and perhaps with some silverware.
Yeah, definitely. We wanted to get to the final and bring some silverware back to this club, so it's a positive ending to the season for us. Now we just need to go on and have another performance in the final.
Strong start in both halves, and you were in the right place at the right time in the second half.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good to get on the score sheet, but I think it was a great team performance. We showed great character, and in the end it was about seeing the game out.
You say out of the blocks in both halves, but Birmingham put up some stiff competition.
Yeah, we knew Birmingham, that's what they're about. You know, they're a really physical side and they keep fighting to the end, so we felt as long as we matched that, our football would come out on top.
Will you be keeping a very close eye on Liverpool and Notts County later?
Definitely, yeah, but I think it's about enjoying the moment, and then we regroup as a team and we look forward to the final.
Enjoy, Alex. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
So Alex through to the final with Arsenal. Who will they meet? All the analysis and reaction of Arsenal's win here against Birmingham after the break.